FlexClip is a versatile online video editor that makes creating professional content simple and accessible. In this walkthrough, I'll guide you step by step so you can see exactly how it works. We'll start with account setup, then explore the AI tools that help generate scripts, subtitles, and creative assets. From there, I'll show you how to use templates to speed up production and give your videos a polished look. Next, we'll dive into the full video editor, covering timelines, effects, transitions, and other settings and tools that make editing intuitive and powerful. And finally, we'll look at the pricing plans, so you'll know which tier fits your needs, whether you're just starting out, freelancing, or running video projects at scale. Alright, so now to get started, you want to go here into the website of FlexClip first. So you just simply want to use the link in the description so that you can go here easily and you can make sure it's correct website, and also you'll get some benefits. Also look out for some coupon codes in there because you will be able to use that later on the checkout page once you get a paid plan so that you can get a huge discount. So now, once you're here in the FlexClip website, you can start by setting up your account in clicking here at the top right here where you can see sign up button or login if you already have one. So I'm just going to click here and sign up because I don't have one yet. And then from here, we can now continue with a Google account or continue with a Facebook, or you could go for your email address, depending on which method you prefer to proceed in registering for an account. In my case, I'll just go for Google. All right, once you're done, you will now be logged in here into your account in FlexClip, and then you would have the free plan available for you to try out so that you can try a few of their features here in FlexClip and see if it works great for you. And yeah, so before you commit to any paid plans here, you can just use the free plan first. As you can see right here at the bottom left, you can see it says free. And you can just click here on upgrade button if you would want to go and upgrade to a paid plan, and we'll be discussing the subscription plans later on this video. So for now, we'll be focusing on what you can do here, what are the tools available, and I'll be demonstrating them. So first is that you want to click here on FlexClip logo on the top left because we have two different modes. We have FlexClip AI and FlexClip Video Editor. And the FlexClip AI here basically is all about AI tools here in this view, in this workspace. It's just that you would have this templates right here or samples from the community that was made by AI. So you could use this as an inspiration because what you would be seeing here in the video editor view is that you would be able to see some video templates still, but this is not necessarily made by AI. You would be able to tell the difference in style. So that's the only difference here, because here in FlexClip AI, the tools or the AI tools specifically that you are seeing in here, and you can click here in AI tools also, you'll also be able to see this in the video editor. So when you click here on FlexClip Video Editor, you can see that here under AI tools. So here it is. And home, and you could also go for a video studio, and then you also have this ones right here. So those are basically the difference here on FlexClip AI and video editor. So for most of the time, you'll probably be spending your time here in FlexClip video editor mode. So now we'll be starting off right here. So let me demonstrate the features or tools. So first off is that we're going to go here into the AI video studio. So now we'll be clicking here. And in here is that we have the magic video generation, automate video creation, AI video editing, and more. So I will just be demonstrating some of these tools because there are so many here in FlexClip, and essentially the concept on how you'd be able to do them in terms of process is pretty similar. So you don't need me repeating everything right here. I mean, every tool showing you, because you can just do it yourself. They are very simple. As long as you get to know how I do it, then you'll also be able to do it when you will be doing it yourself. And as you can see here in AI tools, we also have a lot of tools to explore in here. So now let's explore, let's focus here on the studio. So first, let's go for image to video because this is the most popular right now. So I'm going to click here. And it's now going to take me into the editor app. So as you can see right here, we have this offer. So you could claim that if you'd want to, but for now, we'll just skip that paid plan. And here we are in AI video generator. image to video. So here we have the model. So in here you can just select the model that you'd want. So this would also highly affect how much credit you are going to consume in creating your content here using this model. So be sure to optimize the model that you're using right here based on your budget and the quality that you are going for. Now, if you'd want to go for high quality, you can go for Kling 1.6 Pro, Sora 2, essentially the latest AI models as of this date. And you can see the credit spending. This one is 80, the Veo 3.1, which is 160, 3.1 subject reference, 320, and many more right here. So let's say I'm just gonna go for something. I think Ultra would be fine in here. So I'll get 1080p and I'll get shots. So that's it. So you can also go and judge on what model you would pick based on what they offer here. You can see the features right here. Now I'm just gonna go for Ultra, just like that. And then here, basically you just need to upload the image right here because this is image to video. So you want to upload your start frame. You could also click here on this toggle if you'd want to enable the end frame, if you'd also want to set that. And then here in the prompt is where you would want to describe the video you would want to generate. So you also have the prompt guide in here. And basically this is how you can structure your prompt in here, some guidelines, so on. So if you have time, you can just skim through this and basically understand how you'd be able to write your prompt better so that you'd get better results because the AI will be able to understand it better. Essentially, you just need to put in as specific of the details as you can so that you'll get more accurate results. And then we have the duration. So here we have 5 seconds, 8 seconds, 12 seconds, and then you could also enable or turn off audio, but this one is only for a premium account, so I wouldn't be able to do this as of now. And here we have visibility. So if you'd want this to be public, you can go for post to community. You can go for shareable link if you only want people who you give the link to. You can go for private if you only want it to be viewable only for yourself. So for example, I'm just gonna go for a shareable link, and then basically once you're done with all of this, you can click here on generate. That's basically how you can use the image to video. It's that simple, and the same process basically applies to the other tools in here. It's very similar. So let me just go back here into the studio. So here we have the magic video generation. If we go text to video, you would be able to see now that it would be very similar, as you can see right here. So still you can choose the model, the prompt, and the ratio, duration, and so on. But this one is text to video, so you will not be providing an image. So it's basically that simple in here. And then we also have the AI video effects. So when you click on that, you'll also be prompted in here. As you can see, video effects in here at the left side. So you could also just click here. And here you can choose the effect and then upload. So it might have different options here on the left pane, but still it's the same process or same concept. You just need to pay attention here on what options you have in editing your result here or your content. So in this case, that would be the effect and the upload image option right here of the person, or you can also upload a video right here that you would want to add this effect on. So yeah, that is basically it. And then you could also see the visibility in here, so you could go for post to community, make it a shareable link, or just private. So that's it. And same thing applies here into automate video creation. So let's say script to video. And in here, we can see that we will not be prompted in here. So it's slightly different, but now you have this option. So you can generate scripts with AI. And basically, you would be able to just type out the script in here, or you could also use existing script. So you could click here or enter paste script right here. So if you already have existing one, maybe you have a file or somewhere you can copy and paste, you can just paste it right here if you don't want. And then, yeah, that's it. Or you could just manually type it here. So I'll just manually type it for this example. example, and I'm gonna go for this samples here. I'm gonna go for business marketing. So you can see here, it's like this: generate a video about introducing. You can fill in the product name, the company name, and more, because this is just a sample. So let's say the product name would be Hydrate Spark, just like that. So I only included the product name. For product demo, you can go for social media, new product launch, product ad, company promo, and yeah, those are your choices. You can highlight the core features and display in a emotional resonance way, or whatever you would want it to be right here. You can go for call to action, storytelling, comparison, and many more. So for this example, I'm gonna go for call to action for this one. And that's it. So generate a video about introducing Hydrate Spark or our product in here. So now I'm gonna add more details. You could also do it this way. So I'm gonna go for, this is a Black Friday sale, or call out to the customers, just like that. You can add more details if you want, but for me this is enough. And now, once you are satisfied with everything, you can now click here on generate. And you can see, by the way, that we have 10 free tries left. So that was included in the free plan. That's why we were able to do it right here. So not all the features here in FlexClip does have that free trial though to that feature, only to some feature here. And in here, we could see the scenes now that has been made for us based on our prompt in here. So we can see the scenes, and once you are all good with that, you can click here on next. If not, then you can try and modifying the prompt in here and click on generate to generate new scenes here. Now you could also go and basically rearrange them by dragging it just like so. Right here on the left side of that, you would be able to see the 6 dots. You could drag to move that right here so that you'd be able to drag it or rearrange it based on what you want. You could also click here on X on the right side if you would want to delete that scene. Now, I'm all satisfied with this. Now I'm just going to click here on next. Here in the settings, wherein you can select the settings for your generation. So now, generation mode, you can go for AI image or stock library. So though AI image have the symbol, which means it's only available if you have credits or if you have the paid plan. So I wouldn't be able to do this. I'm just going to go for stock library. And in the ratio, I'm gonna go for this one right here. I'm gonna go for portrait. And the voice settings, you have language right here. You can choose the language that you have, and in the voice you could also choose it right here. Now you have this play button, and basically you can click on that so that you'd be able to preview the voice right here, so that you'll be able to hear it before you choose it. So now let's click it.
Many think that the people you list as references are already cued to say nice things about you, and there are so many.
Now, if you don't like it, then you can go for the other voices in here you can choose from. So there are a ton of voices to choose from right here. So you can choose which one you want. So you just click here on play until you find the one that you want or you're satisfied with. Like, for example, let's try Brian.
The world of literature opens doors to new worlds, perspectives, and emotions.
And I think I would want this one, so I'm gonna go select Brian, and then we have the voice style, so you could also just select that right here, but this would depend on the voice that you have chosen in here. So Brian only has the general voice style. You can go for others, like for example Phoebe, and then as you can see right here, we have other voice styles here for this voice, so you can choose which one you'd want right here. So actually, let's preview the voice.
Sure. Here are some possible slogans for a school.
And I think I like it, so now I'm just gonna keep it that way. And then the voice style, we can choose one. We also have the play button here so that we could preview that. So let's go.
I'm so sorry to hear that you're feeling this way.
Let's go for serious this time.
Social media can be a powerful tool when used responsibly, but it also presents.
And let's go for sad.
I'm feeling really down about it. We shared so many memories and dreams. Now it feels like I've lost a.
So that's basically the voice styles in here. You can choose which one you would want the voice to personalize, or basically get into the style of the voice. So I'm gonna go for just a general for this one right here. because I don't think this three choices that we have would be appropriate for our video, or yeah, depending on the video that you're trying to create. Here we have the speed, so you can control the talking speed. So most of the time, I think you just would want to keep this at 1, so it would be normal, not too fast, not too slow. But if you find it too slow, then you can, of course, and bump up the speed right here until you get your desired speed. And then we have the pitch, so you could also adjust it right here accordingly. So I'm just going to keep it at default values. Here, we could go for the subtitle text. Now, if you don't want any subtitles, you can just simply disable this. If you want one, then you can select it by toggling this on, and then choose the style that you would want right here. So we have a lot of styles that we can choose from. And for this one right here, I'm just going to go for this one right here. I like this, so I'm going to click on that. And now once you are done, you can click here on generate. And with that, you will now be able to generate the video here from the settings that you have just set. And take note that this process could also be applicable to the other tools here in FlexClip, not just here in this tool that we have just used. So we could also use that in the other tool. So basically the same concept. So yeah, just take note that there would also be a process just like that, wherein you would do in multiple steps. And now it will prompt us here to the next step. So the next step of this process was basically editing this video right here, and we could also preview the video that the AI has made for us, or that has been generated. And it's very useful that you understand how you could use this tool right here in FlexClip, like the video editor, because you can use this on the other tools that you might be using here in FlexClip, like in generating your content. This would be very helpful if you would want to edit your content. So I'm going to explain each one of this right here. So first thing is that let's click here on the play button. So this is how you can play that. And then you can see the playhead right here in the timeline. So I'm going to play the clip first and see if we have our video in any good condition that was created by AI. So I'm going to click here and play.
Hydrate Spark. More than just a bottle. It's your personal hydration coach, always by your side. Smart sensors track every sip, ensuring you hit your daily goals. Sync seamlessly with our intuitive app. Available on iOS and Android. Personalized hydration plans.
So yeah, that's basically it right here. So as you notice, these are just stock footages. It should be better if we chose the AI images or AI generations at that time, but we weren't able to because we don't have any credits and we're only in the free plan. So that is why I have said earlier that you would really need a paid plan if you would want to use the FlexClip for serious work. Now in here, I'm gonna explain on what you could do here to edit this footages. So first here in the timeline. So now you can see that we have the timeline in here and we have this text. So this is basically the captions or subtitles that we are seeing in here. Now you can click on that and then you will now be prompted here into the subtitle section and you can edit it right here. So we'll be discussing more of that later on. And now you could also go here for the videos itself. You could also select that. You could add some transitions. As you can see, when you click here between the footages, you can click here and then you could go into transition and then you can add one right here. So you can choose the transition that you want. Like for example, I would want the slide right here, just a simple slide in here. So this is a free one, and then we could also go for the category of slide. You can go for right, from left, depending on the effect that you have chosen right here in transition. You would have these options. You have the duration and then the easing right here to make it smoother. So I'm gonna go for out cubic. That is already good, so that it would be smooth as it animates. And then we also have sound effects. You can add that by turning this on right here if you would want to. So for me, I don't want that, so I just want the transition. And then we also have some other categories right here. We got basic shape, light effect, liquid and brush, creative, and many more right here that you could choose from. And now we also have the audio audio symbols right here, or this is basically the audio waves. You can click here on that audio, and then basically you will now be able to trim. As you can see, you could resize the length of that right here. Same goes for the video. You could also do it like that. So you could do it just like that. As you can see, I'm now increasing the length as I am dragging it. So it's really that simple if you'd want to drag. Now, if you'd want to make a cut, is that you just simply need to position this playhead right here between the part that you would want to cut. Like for example, here, I would want to cut this footage right here. And I can position this here, that line, and then now we can click here and split, and it will now be cut or split just like so. It's that easy. And if you ever made some mistakes, you can just simply click here on undo button. You could also click here on redo if you'd want to do it again. So now I'm just gonna undo. Just like that. And then yeah, that's basically the basics here in the timeline. Now we have the tools here, or the button. So here we have add scene. So if you'd want to add a new blank scene in here, you can click on that, and then we now have a blank one right here, just like so. And you can place some footage in here if you want, like for example a video. And I'm gonna go for this video right here. Click on the add button, and if you have the premium account, you can add it right here, but we don't have that. But basically that's how you can do it if you wish to do that. And next is that we have the duplicate button. So if you'd want to duplicate a footage, you can click here, or even the audio or the text, you could also duplicate that if you'd want. Next, we have the delete button. So just select any element in here that you would want to delete, like for example the text. Click here and delete, and it will now be deleted just like so. And next is that we also have these zoom buttons in here in the timeline. So this would help you navigate through your timeline more seamlessly. So if you would want to be more zoomed in so that you can see better, then you can zoom it in. And if you'd want to have an eagle's view right here where you can see everything here on your timeline, you can just simply adjust it right here. Now next, let's discuss the menus here on the left panel. We have templates. So this is where you can use the templates here in FlexClip that is available. So most of this are only available on the premium plan. So you can select one right here, and we have labels AI, so you can see if it is AI made or this is a video template right here that is not made by AI. You can see that this one has 13 pages right here. You can click on that, and then you'd now be able to see all the 13 pages right here, or slides or scenes as you may call them right here. And then you could also just select a few if there are only a few of them that you'd want to apply into your footage. Like for example, just this one right here, you can click on add, and it will now be inserted right here. As easy as that. So now we can play, and let's see the preview.
Gentle glowing reminders directly
And
from your
that's the video right here. So the audio was not optimized. And now I'm just going to go and undo that right here. I'm just going to delete that right there. And basically, you could go and import everything if you would want to. You could also upload media for autofill. So what this means is that you could upload your photos in here. So for example, I'm going to go for this photo. Click on select, and for this one I just cleared out the timeline for this demonstration. So here we have our uploaded image, as you can see. And now if you want to apply the template that you have just chosen, you can click here on apply only, and then you can go for add after existing scenes or replace all. So what existing scenes mean is that like this. So basically, for example, this is our existing scene right here. So I'm just gonna delete some of this right here. So I'm gonna go and press the delete button right there. So now we have this last two scenes, as you can see. So now if I go for apply only and add after the existing scenes, that would mean that all of these scenes right here inside this template will be added after the scenes that we already have here in our timeline. So now when you click on apply, as you can see, these are the new ones, and they are added after our existing scenes, just like that. So that's what that means. Now we could also go for the other one right here. So we could click on apply only and replace all. So this would replace all of your existing scenes. Click here on apply, and as you can see, we now only have this template right here on our timeline. So that's what that means. And we also have the apply and autofill. So now if you have uploaded the media just like what we did right here, you could go for apply and autofill instead. And then you can go for existing scenes, add after existing scenes, or replace all. Let's say replace all. And in this case, the media or image that we have uploaded in here will now automatically be put in place in the template that we have chosen. Just like this one, as you can see right here, it's now in the image right here. And that's basically how you'd be able to do that. And yeah, you could go for applying for everything right here, and then you'd be able to easily apply that image in here. Now, if you want to go for other templates, you could also do that. So you just want to go back here into templates and then choose one right here. For example, here in AI, this would be a slightly different case because when you click on those AI templates, you will now be prompted in here wherein you can now upload your logo depending on the kind of AI template that you have selected. As you can see, for this current template, it will now require you to add a logo or photo there. For this one right here, it would do the same thing. And then we have more right here, some more AIs like the product ads. It will also add, it would need you to add some logos, or you can go for a free sample just like what they have right here. And the total, you can also see that right here before you add your photos, you can see how much it's gonna cost. So that this would be 192 coins. So you could also try this for free if you'd want to. For a free plan, we have free trial right here. So we could click here on generate as long as we're doing this with the samples. Click here, and then you'd now be able to see that being imported right here. So we just need to wait for that. And then when we play it, and there we now have the product. And we also have some more right here. So there are also some other AI templates right here. Let's see if we can find more. Let's see this one right here. So as you can see, it will just let you add your product image. So that's basically it for the templates. Now we have media. So this is where you can add your footages that you would want to use here in your edits. So you can see right here in the files, these are also your footages or history here in your FlexClip account that you have used. Even if it's on the other project, you can still see that in here as long as it is within your FlexClip account. You should see that here. We have cloud. So this is basically their online cloud platform here or feature on FlexClip, and then AI. So any AI work that you have created should appear in here, and you could also import that here into this project if you would want to. Next, we have the tools. So these are the AI tools that you could use inside the editor. We have video generator, image to image, text to image, and many more right here that you could choose from. So yeah, just scroll down and then you'll be able to see more of that. And you could do it inside here. For example, the video effects, you can click on that and then you'll now be prompted in here. And once you generate that, it will now be imported into this project here in the video editor. It's that simple. It will just simply open up like a new window in here wherein you could go and generate your AI content first. And you can just go back in here and then you should be able to see that imported right here. If not, then you can just go here into media and go into AI. You should see that right here. And next we have the text. So this is where you'd be able to add text. You could go for modern titles and many more right here. So for example, I'm gonna go for this one right here. And once you do that, it will now be imported just like this one right here. And then you could also see that here in the timeline. As you can see here, we have this text. And when we play that, let's play it somewhere in here. And I'm just gonna mute this one right here. Because we don't need to hear that for now. There it is. And now let me just click here again and it will now be imported. There it is. And I'm just going to go for sample titles and edit this by double clicking it. It's that simple. Title right there. And now when we play it right here, we will now be able to see that pop up just like that. So there we have it. We now have it there. And as you can see, you may have noticed that we weren't able to see that here in the timeline. So what you could do is that you could click here on timeline button, and then now you'd be able to see every element that you have here in the timeline. So here we have the sample title that we have just did. It's this one. So you can go back, and if you don't want to see it anymore, you can just not go and select other ones and it will now be gone. So basically, if you want to go for a more comprehensive view of every element that you have here on your timeline, click here on the timeline button to expand it. Now let's move on here into this project wherein we have subtitles. So the text titles in here are not applicable to the subtitles that we have right here. So you wouldn't be able to apply that into each one of them. So this would be just for main titles right here that you would want to add into your project. Now, what if you would want to just change the look of your titles in here? You just need to click here on the subtitle. Like for example, let's see this one right here. Now, you can click here on style button at the top of your video. You should see this right here. And then now you can select the preset style that you would want. So you can change that right here. So for example, this one, as you can see, it is now changed. And as for the other text, it would also automatically update depending on what you choose. So once you change one, it will change all. So now I'm just gonna go for other ones right here. I think this one is still best, so I'm just gonna go for this one. And we can change the color of that. We have some options depending on the style that we have chosen. So I'm gonna go for white right there. I think that looks good. And let's play.
Understand your body's needs.
Yeah, I think that looks good. And then now next is that under text, we also have subtitles. So this is where you would be able to change the subtitles or see them in an overview. As you can see here, we have the timestamp and basically the time in and then the time out of each subtitle. You can see that in here. You could also modify that if you'd want to, or you could just simply modify it right here by just dragging it and by lengthening it, or shortening it right here by dragging it to the left, depending on how you'd want to do it. But if you want to be more precise, I suggest changing it here in the subtitle section so that you can be more specific with the timing. And then you could also change the text in here. So as you can see, you can change that like that if you would want to. And you could also click here and delete if you would want to delete this text. You could also click on add line if you'd want to add a line below the line that you have just clicked plus on. So that's it. So I'm just going to delete that. And yeah, here we have it. And now next is that we have videos. So this is basically where you can see the stock videos and where you can use AI to generate videos, though you could also do this in tools, but basically videos is the home of your videos or stock videos in here that you could use here in your project if you'd want. So you can just search for it right here or something specific, and we have your categories right here if you need them. We have images, so same as the videos, this is also the home of your images, stock images, and you could also go for AI image generator if you'd want by clicking here and generate now, and you'll be prompted in here. And then we have the audio. So this is where you'd be able to see the audio library of FlexClip on which one you could add into your project from here, so that you don't have to live on this platform. You can just get your music in here. You can search. You can go for music or sound effects so that you can be more specific. So we also have a lot of sound effects right here for you to choose from. Like for example, I'm going to go for door sound effects right here, like the creaking of the door. So as you can see, we have this ones right here. So let's preview some of them. That's the door squeak. Now let's see this one. Let's hear it. All door hinges creaking. All right, so that's it. And then we have some musics in here. You can choose one. You have different genres to choose from in here. And you can search for a title in here if you would want to. Let's say something like love. I'm going for a love song or romantic one. So you can see that right here. And we can choose one. Let's play one right here. For example, this one. So yeah, that's a nice, chill, romantic background love story music. And that's basically audio. Now let's go into AI speech. If you would want to generate some narration here on your video, you could do it right here. Now you can go for AI text-to-speech or voice cloning. So voice cloning is basically if you would want to use someone else's voice or your own voice in here into the voice that you'll be selecting in FlexClip. You can click here and clone, and then you can just basically drag and drop the file in here, or you could just click on browse files if you'd want to browse your device storage and select the file. And basically by uploading the MP3 WAV file or even MP4 file or videos in here, the AI would extract the voice from that and basically clone it. So you could do it like that, or you could go for a voice library in here wherein you could choose a ton of voice right here that is available on the FlexClip library, and you have your favorites if you have added some on your favorites, just like this one right here. And then yeah, so now let's just stick to AI text-to-speech. in here, I'm gonna enter something right here. And let's say that I'm gonna go for this one. So, or exploring the outdoors. So basically, if you would want to make this text or this subtitle into speech, you just need to click on the subtitle and click here on speech, and it will now be imported in here. Now you can change the language, the voice. You could also change that right here. Choose from here, and then the voice style. So we have already explained that, and then you can see how much it would cost. So you can click here, and it would now generate the voice over or narration of that certain text or subtitle that you have chosen in here. So you can do that for everyone right here. So every one of the subtitles, you could select all of them and create a speech to text right here. So I mean text to speech. And yeah, you could do that for each one of your subtitles until you are satisfied. But if you do want to make one from scratch, then you can definitely do so by going into AI speech and then just typing it right here. Like for example, this is my sample audio for this tutorial. And then choose the current voice. I'm gonna go for a different one. I'm gonna go for
From
Arcana.
product demos to
Use that and click on generate, and once it's done, it should now be available to play. So let's just wait for that for a bit. It should be very fast because this is just a short text. All right, here it is. And now we have our speech. So now let's go and play it.
This is my sample audio for this tutorial.
So there it is. As you have heard, we now have generated this audio. Now you can download or save this to media if you would want to.
Tutorial.
So that's it. And then we have the elements in here. So basically just some simple elements from the library here of FlexClip, essentially like Canva. So you can see that right here. You can import this directly into your video or your project. So for example, I'm going to go for this frame. I'm going to go for the mobile phone one. So now we have this one. So basically with this, we can actually put in our image in here. So for example, I'm going to click here on replace, and then just select the image that you'd want to put inside the phone. For example, I'm gonna go for this one right here, click on use, and it is now inside the phone or the frame, as you can see right here. And you can expand by clicking here on see all to see all the frames that you have in here. Same goes for the other elements in here. So you can do that. It's as easy as that. Just click on the element that you would want to add into your video, and it is that simple in importing them right here. You should also see that on your timeline, wherein you can reposition, rearrange them, or even lengthen or shorten them as you wish. So that's it. And then we have the effects. So this is where you can see the video effects here that you could use on your video clips here in FlexClip. Like for example, I'm gonna select this video and I'm gonna go for a video effect in here. For example, I'm gonna go for this one right here. So that's it. So now we have that applied, as you can see right here, just on this clip. And we can see the effect in here at the timeline. As you can see here, it is. You could also lengthen that if you would want to, but it is tied to the specific clip. So you could shorten that if you would want. If you don't want the whole clip to be affected by the effect, you could do it like that. And yeah, that's basically that. You could choose the other effects in here if you'd want. And then we have the brand. So this is basically your brand kit. So you could also set this up in the home page, which I will be discussing later on this video. But if you haven't already done that, then you can just set it up right here. You can upload your logo, brand text presets, brand fonts, and so on. So this would be helpful when you're creating content here in FlexClip, so that your brand content here would automatically be applied to your result and you don't have to manually add it anymore. So this is a great way for you to save time and effort in branding your content. All right, we have now discussed everything here on the left menu. Now, another important thing that you should know is that we have this one. This is the aspect ratio. You should know that this is where you can set the aspect ratio of the whole video. Like for example, I would want to make this for mobile. I'm going to go for the mobile aspect ratio, which is this one right here. As you can see, it is now set into mobile, as easy as that. So you can change that just like so. And then we could also go for this one right here, different aspect ratios. You can see that And yeah, that's how you can do that. And then we have the title. You could also name this project in here so that you won't be confused later on when you have so many projects on which is which. So for example, I'm gonna go for a sample tutorial project. And that's it. Now it has been updated successfully. And then we have the full screen preview if you would want to view your output or your video in a full screen. This is how you can do that right here if you'd want to test it out on how it's gonna look. And then we have the size level right here of the preview. We have the fit to screen, fill to screen, and many more on depending on which one you're comfortable with. And yeah, that's basically it. Once you are all satisfied with everything, you can click here on save. And if you would want to download this or export, you can click on export in here. And then you could now go for video, GIF, or audio, depending on which one you'd want to export. Let's say the whole video. You can go for 480p up to 4K resolution, depending if you have the paid plan. And then we can have the frame rate. You can choose one right here. And then quality, you could choose one also. So you can go for high quality. This would be higher in quality, but also larger storage. So if you're fine with that, you can go for high quality so that you can get high as possible in terms of quality. And then here, as you can see, we will not be able to export this because we're only on the free trial. So if you like, then you can go for a paid plan so that you can download and export your video in here. But for now, it's saved, so it's fine. And yeah, that's it. Now you have understood the editor in here. You should now know on how you'd be able to navigate and use this effectively on your own. All right, going back in here to the homepage, we are now done with the video editor. So now you know how you can use the manual editor if you'd want to use this process. Now let's go back here instead of Video Studio, and here we also have the AI video editing. You could also do that via AI if you'd want to, but in here you would have less control. The benefit of doing the manual video editing, just as I have demonstrated earlier, is that you have more control than ever. So here you can go for AI recap, auto edit, and this one right here would be text-based editing. So these are your options on which one you would want to use. Let's say I'm going to go for auto edit. So this is best for general editing right here. And now you can browse your files. So you can upload files to up to 50 pieces of them, and with a total video duration of less than 45 minutes. So it should not exceed 45 minutes. And here, browse files. Now you can choose your videos. And I'm gonna go for this one and this one, for example, just like that. Open. And then when you have your video settings, you can change your language, ratio, video theme right here. And basically you want to go for, you don't have any specifics right here that you can put, so only the video theme, just like I said. If you go for AI editing, then you would have less control. So you would have to just go for the video theme right here and let AI do the rest. So that's it. So if you just want something simple, then this should be enough for you so that you don't have to spend so much effort in editing them yourself. So that's basically the AI video studio in here. These are the contents. Now that we're done with that, let's go into the AI tools since we're already talking about AI. And in here, we have the tools here in FlexClip. So these are all the AI tools available, including what's in the AI video studio. So here we have video generator, AI recap, text to full video, and many more. So this one is the most popular one right here because it creates insane clip. They are very realistic. So we have the samples here from the community that they have created and was shared in public. And then here you can see that you can see all the creations here that you have, and then some history that you have created here in FlexClip. So we don't have one yet, so we'll be creating one in a minute. So now let's go back into AI tools, and there are a ton more that we could try right here. So depending on what you would want to go. So for example, I'm gonna go for a simple AI text to image right here. You can click on that. And in here, you can see again the samples from the community. And then here, we can select the model. Let's say I'm going to go for ByteDance, OpenAI, Flux, depending on what you'd want. But there is a model in here that we have free trial for, which is the Flux right here. Flux now, this one is available for us to try. So this is the lowest one because this would only cost 1 credit. So that's it. And basically you could choose your models in here. Same thing as we have discussed earlier with the video. You could also choose the model in here based on the credit cost and the quality that you would want in here. So there are a ton of models that you can choose from, but technically the best one here in terms of images, for my opinion, that would be the Google Nano Banana right here. This is just crazy. This creates ultra realistic photos here. So that's it. I'm just gonna go for Chanel for this example. And here you can put in your prompt. So please describe the content and style of the image. So let's say a picture of a dog in a frame with a sunglass and a hat. So that's it. Very simple. You can add more details if you want. Now you have Inspire Me right here. So this is if you would want to go for the random prompts right here. So if you just want something random, then you can click here, and then AI would basically give you a random prompt. We also have AI prompts. So if you'd want to improve your prompt right here that you have done, for example, this one is a very plain one right here that I have just did, very generic. Now if you want to improve that, you can click on improve prompts, and it will now improve your prompt in here. So you just have to wait for that, and it will now come with much more details and much more specific. So you could also use this right here if you are not that confident with the prompt that you have and you'd want more details but is finding it hard to add more. And we also have this one right here, get prompts from image. So basically you can upload your image in here, and then AI would be able to make you a prompt out of that image so that you would be able to copy that style. So this would work best if you got some AI images, or basically just image that you have in your storage. You could click here and browse. You can upload it right here so that the AI would be able to create basically the same style as the image that you have uploaded in here. You could go for that right here, and it will create a prompt out of that image. It's not recognizing. We just need to wait for a bit. And here it is. It's nice. Now, a sleek futuristic tumbler in black with a blue base surrounded with splashes of water and so on right here. And it also added the text overlays exactly as in the image. So that's one of the benefits. So let me show you on how that looks like so that you could see the reference. So let me just scroll down for a bit, and it should be somewhere in here. Here it is. So this is a poster I made a while back. So this is the reference that we have right here. So remember that. And now we're going to go here. And basically we'll just be using this for this example. You could also go for improved prompts if you'd want. And I'm going to go for this one right here. I'm just going to change the color into like green right here instead of blue, and also this one. So I just need to replace all blue words into green. So right there, here's another blue. I'm gonna replace that into green. You can basically just edit the text right here that was generated for you than AI. It is really not recommended to use it as it is, so that you can add your own touch here on how you'd want it to look like, and it will not be the exact same one. So yeah, I think that's enough. And then I'm gonna go for Kyle Store right here. Though I don't expect that this AI model would actually be able to create a good text right here that would not be like mistyped or distorted, because this one is a very cheap model in here, only 1 credit. So I don't have any high expectations. So that is why it's very important that you choose a high quality model if you do want to go for quality, and if your prompt is not something so simple just like this one. And here we have the style. You could go for a photo, cinematic, and whatever style you'd want to go for, and choose that right here. And then the ratio, image count, visibility, and so on. So you already know that. Now let's just click here on generate, and let's see. All right, so now here is the result from our AI image generation. So that's basically the text to image in here on how it works. And you could also transform this into a video if you'd want. By clicking here on image to video, then it would take you to another tool in here, which is the image to video tool here in AI. So it will now add it as a reference in here. So you could also enable the end frame if you'd want. So this is basically what we have discussed earlier. So that's basically that. And then we can go for more right here. We have video and audio AI tools to use right here. So if you want, you can feel free to explore each one of them. They basically have the same concept on how you can use them, the process on using them, and yeah, that is basically it for the AI tools here in FlexClip. Now let's go back here into the video editor. So in here, we'll be discussing the templates. So these are not created from AI. As you can see, they don't have the AI label. So in here, you can also recreate them via AI if you would want. You could customize them and so on. So you can click here on customize, and it's going to take you into the editor just as I have discussed earlier. So now you know how you would be able to do this here. But basically, this is how you can customize them if you would want to customize them manually. However, if you'd want to go for the auto mode or automatic one, or automatic method, then you can go for AI recreate right here. You can click on that, and then it will now redirect you into the AI recreate option. So you can change your language, your custom theme, and then your media right here to be applied in this template. So it would replace the footage with your own right here, but it would get the style right. So that's basically the AI recreate versus the customize in here. So that is why it's very important that you understood the video editor that I have discussed earlier. And now next we have projects. So this is where you'd be able to see all the projects that you have worked on this FlexClip account. So you can see that right here under all projects. You could go for your templates if you have a template that you have saved into your account. You could also create one yourself if you'd want to, but that would require you the premium account. And yeah, that's basically it right here for the projects. And next we have the templates. So this we have already done, but again, you already know this from the video editor. But if you'd want to view it here from the homepage, this is where you can do that. Go into templates, and then you could go and create a content right here from one of these templates, may it be AI or not AI made. And then we have the brand kit. So this is what I've been talking about earlier. This is where you can set your brand kit if you'd want this branding automatically applied into any content that you have created here in FlexClip, especially on videos, so that you don't have to manually apply your logos, fonts, colors, or QR code here when it's applicable. So yeah, that's the brand kit in here, which is also only available on the premium one. And then we have favorites. So if you have some favorite templates of videos, images, audios, or elements that you have saved, this is where you can see that right here across all your projects. So for example, I'm going to go here into templates, and I'm going to save one as a favorite by clicking here on the star button. So this is the icon for the favorite. So you want to make sure to click on that if you'd want to save that on your favorites here on your account. And then you should see that right here when you go here into the favorites menu. So this is very helpful if you would want to save things, and then basically just save those useful ones, and then all you have to do is go here into favorites, and then you can go and see everything that you have saved in here, so that you don't have to find them manually one by one when you want to look for them. And then we have the cloud space. So this is basically where you can sync your storage here, and you can prevent data loss and make them accessible across multiple devices. So there is also no FlexClip watermark on videos, and unlimited 4K Ultra HD video exports here. And then we have the team. So if you're working with other people or you're a team, you can go and create one right here by clicking on this button. And this is where you can go for the team information. Let's say tutorial team right here. Click and confirm. And then you would now have created a team. So here it is, provides various collaboration features to help you and your team make branding videos. So try it now. So basically with the team one right here, you could see that your team right here. So I'm going to click on got it. You could go here into team management because we already have a team. You can click here, and then we can basically click on invite members if you'd want to invite your workmates in here or whoever you would want on your team. So here, for example, I'm going to go for tutorials or tutors.gmail.com, and then here you could go invite them via link if you just want to send a link, or via email right here. So I just want it via email, and I'm going to go for this one. Click on send invitation. It will now be sent. And now here's how it's gonna look like when you got the email. So I have it here on my Gmail, and now you can see that I can just click here on accept invitation, and I will now be part of the FlexClip team. Just make sure that when you click here, you already have an account, or else when you click here, you would have to sign up first. And in here, you could also change the role of that specific member that you have right here. You can go for administrator or just member in here, depending on how you'd want it to be. Next, we also have the basic settings in here. So we can change the team name here if you'd want to, and also the team logo. And that's it. And then we now have the team cloud space. So it is now team because we have a team already right here, and you can see the media, trash, and so on here of your cloud space. So this is where you could share a virtual space where you could put in some images, videos here. So this is your shared storage. So that's cloud space. And yeah, that is it. We also have now the team projects in here. So it's also now called team projects. So that's basically the team right here. Now we can click here, and then we could now switch a workplace. So we could go for our personal one, which is this one, or we could go for the team that we have created. So now you could switch between personal and teams by just clicking here on the bottom left. All right, so those are basically the features in here. Now you know how you would be able to use FlexClip effectively. You know everything that you should know, especially as a beginner, to start using this as long as you have watched this video. Now all that's left is a subscription plan for you to get started and start using FlexClip for serious work. Now click here on upgrade button in the bottom left, and in here you can now see the pricing plan. So the pricing plan here in FlexClip is very simple. So you only have the plus and business plan. Alright, so those are basically the features in here. Now you know how you would be able to use FlexClip effectively. You know everything that you should know, especially as a beginner, to start using this as long as you have watched this video. Now all that's left is a subscription plan for you to get started and start using FlexClip for serious work. Now click here on upgrade button in the bottom left, and in here you can now see the pricing plan. So the pricing plan here in FlexClip is very simple. So you only have the plus and business plan. Basically, I suggest clicking here on see all features so that you'll now be prompted in here into the pricing plans, where you can see all the plans available here for you. And then we also have the credits right here. So if you ever run out of credits, this is where you can buy them. The coupon code in the description, if you find one, is also applicable in here. So now let's go back into video editor for now. And in here, you have the billing cycle. You can go for monthly or annual. So if you go for annual, you'll be able to save as much as possible on the long run, which would save you up to $120. So that is if you'd want to save, but you could also go for monthly. If this is you only want it for a month, then you can just go here, no problem. I'm gonna go for annual for this example. And here we can see that we have the limited time 20% off annual plan. So you could get more discount if you go into the description and use the link and also the coupon code. And here I'm now going to explain what each plan is, so you know what to get and what you need. So first is the free plan. So basically this is a starter tier with just 720p HD downloads, limited stock resources, 1 video and 1 audio per project, and up to 12 projects capped at 10 minutes each. This includes trial access to some AI features. So this is for beginners, hobbyists, or casual users who want to test FlexClip and doesn't want any commitment here for payment. We have the Plus plan, which is an upgrade from free. So you will now get 1080p full HD downloads, adds 3,600 AI credits per year, more stock resources, 5 videos and 5 audio per project, and premium resources. Projects are unlimited in length and with online saves. You also get a brand kit, 30 gig of cloud storage, 100 gig hosting, custom fonts, and up to 100 templates. Also, no watermark on your content. So this is for freelancers, small businesses, or content creators who would need professional quality videos, branding tools, and more flexibility for longer projects. We have a business plan, which is the top tier with 4K Ultra HD downloads. You get 9,600 AI credits per year, unlimited stock resources, premium assets, unlimited project saves, unlimited video length, brand kit, and many more. So we also get 100 gig of cloud storage, which is a lot, 1 terabyte of hosting, which is massive upgrade, and then upload custom fonts, and you get 200 templates in here that you can save, and of course no watermark. So this is for agencies, enterprises, or professional creators producing high volume, high quality content at scale, ideal for teams needing maximum storage, hosting, and advanced branding support. So by now you should have an idea on which one fits your needs and which one you should get. So just simply click on this button in here on which one you want. Like for example, you want Plus, you can click on Get Plus and it will now take you into the checkout page, wherein you could now use the coupon code in here by clicking here, type it right here to get the discount of that coupon code. And you can find it in the description, and then just provide your payment details right here once you're ready to pay this amount, which you can see right here, and click on Pay Now. Once the payment goes through, then you have successfully purchased a subscription here in FlexClip. And you also have the credits. So once again, let's say that you would want to go for 1400 credits. You can click on Get Now here, or you could also go for a subscription type. You could go for 1400 credits per month right here, and you can click on Get Now, and basically it will take you to the same checkout page. You could still apply the coupon code in here if you'd want. So that's how you can set up your account here with a subscription, and how you could use FlexClip with all its features effectively. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next one.